Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and excitingly, finally, we have an update for AHSOKA Season 2. Of course, we're going to go ahead, we're going to hop right on into it, everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do, though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars-related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So, if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. In this video, we are going to be taking a quick read from StarWarsNewsNet.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there, as well as an overall garnering source, one of my favorites out there, of course. We don't know much about AHSOKA Season 2 other than the official confirmation that it's coming, of course, with that being officially confirmed alongside the Star Wars Mandalorian and Grogu movie being directed and taken on by Jon Favreau. That was back in January of this year. It kind of went under the radar, I feel, a little bit, and honestly, I think that some of you fans out there might have forgot about it. I'm going to be completely honest, I kind of forgot about AHSOKA Season 2 happening, but yeah, it is a thing, and it is happening out there. Kind of got overshadowed by it in a whole movie announcement there, of course. Plus, there's this obvious continuation of other dangling story threads that kind of need to be wrapped together, it feels like, almost, especially as they're moving forward with the overall Mandoverse, just other Mandoverse shows, like continuing the Mandalorian show itself, the Star Wars Skeleton Crew show, a possible potential Book of Boba Fett Season 2 is also something that we've also recently caught a bit of wind of. It's something I'll discuss in more detail and in more depth in a separate feature video here on the channel. All the more reason to grab that subscribe button if you haven't already. So anyway, Rosario Dawson claims that she doesn't know anything either, though, however, about AHSOKA Season 2. She hasn't read any scripts yet, but has shared her excitement and hopes for the season in an interview on the Table Read podcast over comicbook.com, which she had attended with Mark Hamill, the legendary Mark Hamill, among others. When asked if she had any news to share about the upcoming AHSOKA Season 2, the actress had simply replied with a nope, but she was able to expand a little bit more on her own excitement for this upcoming series and continuation of the series. I think there as well, in particular on her hopes to see new costumes and to revisit AHSOKA and Sabine's character dynamic a bit there together. And I definitely think that those are all things that we're going to see come to fruition, especially based off of how the season was left off on that big cliffhanger. AHSOKA and Sabine are now left on a whole nother planet in a whole nother galaxy on Peridia, and well, that's going to be a big focus of AHSOKA Season 2. I think we definitely feel it there. As I had mentioned, there's a lot of other story threads, a lot of storylines that are just left kind of wide open. Baylan Skoll, his apprentice Shin Hati, by which have to be some of the biggest ones. Thrawn and his continuation plan of galaxy domination now that he's approaching Dathomir, and also, as I had mentioned, everything that's gone on with AHSOKA and Sabine, now stuck on this other planet of Peridia. Where is Zeb, Hera, and Ezra reuniting and getting the Ghost crew, it feels like, almost back together? I think that this goes in two different directions, though, however. I think that it's important, I think to say the least, and nonetheless, that they wrap up all the storylines for AHSOKA in AHSOKA Season 2. They're not just doing that to satisfy us fans out there and to make a Season 2 of AHSOKA. They're doing it for other projects out there, like Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie. The Thrawn movie has a bigger culmination movie acting as this almost Avengers-level kind of movie for a galaxy far, far away, by which, if you are a Marvel fan, we have our Marvel channel linked in the description down below. Now, backtracking there, as Rosario Dawson was talking in this interview podcast, she says this here in quote, "Hugely so. I mean, it's a big deal. It's huge. I love everyone, and it's an incredible cast. It's a great group of people, and we get more AHSOKA. We get more Sabine. We get more of these characters in a way that, as much as we've watched all of the previous shows and everything, it's new storytelling, which is just insane to me. So I hope that there's new costumes, and I want to know everything that's going on." Ending that quote right there. Can I mention there beforehand there as well, we're definitely going to get more AHSOKA and Sabine, seeing that they're stuck together on this kind of desolate planet of Peridia here, and there's nowhere for them to necessarily really go. They only have each other. I think that there's going to be a lot of strong dialogue going on between these characters, a lot of just strong connections between these two characters overall here, and for what they're going to have to offer to one another. I definitely think that AHSOKA is going to provide some more Jedi training, some more Force sensitivity and Force sensitive training for Sabine during this time here as well. In the same quote there as well, she mentions wanting new costumes. I think that's always something to look forward to, and I don't know why it's so exciting, but it just does feel so exciting. Like when we got the in Ahsoka season 1, when she's in the spacesuit, when she has like the little like white and gray Jedi robes. I don't know what's so cool about that, but I just think that those different kind of costume changes is something very unique. I think what it is in comparison to other Disney Plus shows, we just don't normally usually get that kind of change. And also in like other Star Wars movies, even thinking about the sequel trilogy, I don't really feel like the characters change their clothes all that much. So like when you see characters, especially now in a galaxy far, far away, and especially in the Ahsoka Disney Plus show, like they change their costumes, they change their clothes. It feels definitely noticeable. Also, not just that, but I think it changes things up, as I had mentioned, but it also feels like that there's different little Easter eggs, like, oh, it's a reference to the Clone Wars right here because so and so wore that same thing, pretty much. Little things, little details like that is something I think that just makes it all the more interesting for us diehard fans there as well. In the same quote, she expresses much gratitude and love to everybody that's worked on the show, the cast and the crew, having making this all a much more of an enjoyable experiments all the way around there, and saying that it's new storytelling, especially in comparison, I think is one of the main larger things that she also mentions here. It's new storytelling, and somehow, some way, it's insane because they're able to do that. Like, it feels entirely new in comparison that we've known these characters for, well, Ahsoka and 2 other animated shows beforehand, in Ahsoka and the Star Wars The Clone Wars animated show, and then Star Wars Rebels there as well, having her character return. Same thing for Sabine. Like, these characters have been around their pre-existing characters, and yet still we don't feel bored of them. Like, there's so much more story to tell with them, and they feel so much more interesting. In a way, though, I think that's also, if I may, a bit of a props to the actors, that they're able to take on and portray these characters in a different way than when we saw them back in animation all at the same time. Like, they feel the same, but they feel a bit new. I think what also helps with that is that this is set in a couple of years ahead of when we last saw them in the Star Wars Rebels animated show. Now, aside from all of this, when is Ahsoka Season 2 actually going to be hitting Disney Plus? We simply just don't know. It seems that Lucasfilm and Disney, Star Wars, is quite busy this year working on 2 feature films, that there being the Rey Skywalker New Jedi Order movie, alongside with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and a couple of other projects such as the Acolyte Season 2 looks to begin its filming a little bit later this year. Lucasfilm Animation, I know, is a whole nother thing, but they're hard at work, it feels like, and it seems like, at other projects, whether it's going to be a project that we know about, such as probably Tales of the Jedi Season 2, or maybe another surprise pop-up one like Tales of the Empire. I think nonetheless it seems that the Lucasfilm animation side of things is quite busy, but when you look at live action stuff like that, yeah, Acolyte Season 2 is looking at filming this year, 2 feature films, as I had mentioned there as well, possibly potentially The Mandalorian Season 4, and always I will hope for the Book of Boba Fett Season 2. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been an official Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.